In a world full of heroes, one game dared to ask, what if you could be the villain? Not just fight them, but be them. Welcome to Dungeon Keeper, the 1997 masterpiece by Bullfrog Productions. The game that flipped the script and let you rule the underworld. The game that let players rule a kingdom, not of light, but of shadow and slime. Whether you're a returning fan or a newcomer, curious about this cult classic, this is your deep dive into the dungeons, demons and diabolical genius of Dungeon Keeper. From gameplay to legacy, humor to heartbreak, we're going to cover it all. Let's dig on. Let's rewind to the mid-90s. Bullfrog Productions, led by the legendary Peter Molyneux, was already known for innovation with titles like Populous and Theme Park. Dungeon Keeper was born from the desire to flip the fantasy genre on its head. Instead of playing the Shining Knight, you are the Overlord, the master of minions, traps, and torture chambers. Developed using a custom 3D engine, the game was ambitious, darkly comic, and thanks to delays, released just months before Dungeon Keeper 2 was announced. Still, it stood out for being truly different, and truly evil. The story, simple, but effective. You're an unseen malevolent force, expanding your dungeon beneath the world of good. Each level represents a new region to corrupt and conquer. Above you, heroes, do-gooders, noble kings. Below, you're tasked with building an underground dungeon empire. You carve out rooms, hoard gold, and grow your dungeon full of bile demons, warlocks, dark mistresses, and the legendary Horned Reaper. The heroes from the surface world will try to invade your domain, and it's your job to crush them with traps, spells, and sheer evil might. The narrative is told through deliciously dry text screens, and the deep voice of myself, the narrator, who delivers mission briefings with sinister charm. It's minimal, but it fits. Dungeon Keeper isn't about cutscenes. It's about creating chaos. Unlike traditional games where you fight evil, here, you embrace it. The concept was fresh, funny, and a little bit wicked, and that's what made it stand out. Let's talk gameplay. The meat of the dungeon. Your imps are your labor force. They dig tunnels, claim territory, mine gold, and construct rooms. Each room serves a specific function. Lair, where your minions sleep. Hatchery, where they feed, usually on terrified chickens. Training room, to level them up. Torture chamber, to break prisoners, or persuade heroes to switch. Sides library, for researching spells. Creatures arrive based on the rooms you build. Build a workshop. Expect trolls. Build a temple. Maybe you'll summon something unholy. The more rooms you build, the more powerful creatures you attract. But they're not loyal drones. They have needs, wages, rivalries. Mistreat a mistress, and she might leave. Delay payday. Expect a strike. Combat is chaotic and satisfying. It is real time. You can pick up and drop units, cast spells like lightning, heal, or summon creatures. There's also the possession spell, which lets you become one of your minions in first-person view, charging into battle as a Horned Reaper, or scurrying around as an imp. It's both hilarious and immersive. It's clunky, but it was revolutionary. The mix of macro management and immersive micro-control gave the game real depth. There's a constant balancing act, managing your economy, keeping creatures happy, and defending your dungeon from increasingly powerful enemies. One of Dungeon Keeper's most impressive features was its creature AI. Minions didn't just wait for orders. They had routines, grudges, and relationships. Warlocks would prefer studying alone. Dark mistresses enjoyed being tortured. Imps celebrated small victories with squeals. This made the dungeon feel alive. Your job wasn't just building. It was managing an ecosystem of evil. Visually, Dungeon Keeper embraced a grimy atmospheric style. Dark stone corridor, flickering torches, creepy ambient sounds. It all sells the idea of a living, breathing dungeon. Graphically, Dungeon Keeper used an isometric 3D engine, with dynamic lighting and animated rooms. Today it looks dated, but in 1997, this was atmospheric gold. But what really sells the atmosphere? The voice acting. That deep, menacing narrator voice is iconic, and gave the game a unique identity. Combine that with the eerie music and squishy sound effects, and you've got a vibe that sticks with you. The music, subtle, eerie, ambient, it never overwhelmed, but it always enhanced. Dungeon Keeper didn't just play well, it felt right. Humor is everywhere in Dungeon Keeper, from sarcastic narrator lines, like your minions are annoyed, Probably because you slapped them. The game always mixes menace with mischief. It's cartoonishly evil. You're torturing heroes, but they groan like sitcom characters. You're summoning demons, but it feels like a prank. That's what made it so accessible. Being evil was funny, not disturbing. The campaign spans 20 plus levels, gradually increasing in complexity. Early levels are simple. Dig, attract, conquer. Later ones introduce enemy keepers, tougher heroes, and new strategic layers. There's also a skirmish mode and multiplayer via LAN, which at the time was a huge bonus. Each map feels unique, and because creatures behave differently each time, no two playthroughs are exactly alike. Want more today? Fan campaigns and remakes like Keeper FX have extended the game's life dramatically. Dungeon Keeper wasn't just a one-off. It inspired a whole genre of dungeon management games. Despite its success, Dungeon Keeper never became a massive franchise. Dungeon Keeper 2 refined everything, with better visuals and creature design. But then, Nothing EA acquired Bullfrog, and the planned Dungeon Keeper 3 was cancelled. A mobile reboot in 2014 became infamous for its paywalls, so much so that it triggered widespread backlash. Fortunately, games like Dungeons War for the Overworld and Keeper RL have kept the spirit alive. Many strategy fans still rank Dungeon Keeper among the most creative RTS games of all time. For me, Dungeon Keeper wasn't just a game. It was a gateway into strategy, creativity, and yes, chaotic evil. I remember laughing as I slapped imps watching bile demons fart, or seeing a horned reaper rage because I forgot payday. It was one of the first games where failure felt fun, where experimentation, no matter how absurd, was rewarded. It's not perfect. The UI can be clunky, and pathfinding can get frustrating, but it's bursting with personality and wicked fun. Even today, it holds a special place in my library. So, should you play Dungeon Keeper in 2025? Absolutely. Whether it's for the nostalgia, the gameplay, or the wicked charm, this game still casts a long dark shadow. If you enjoy retro gaming, base building, dark humor, or just want to be deliciously evil for a few hours, Dungeon Keeper is still worth your time. You can get it easily through GOG or with the fan-updated Keeper FX. If you've played it, I'd love to hear your favorite moments. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more retro reviews and gaming deep dives. Until next time, fellow keepers, your dungeon mentor wait for you in your dungeon.